In this lesson, we will continue discussing long documents. If you'd like to follow along, go under the File menu to Open, and in the Sample Files folder, scroll down to 1003, Making Captions Work Automatically, and just click Open. Wouldn't it be great if you could generate the captions for all of your photos in a layout automatically? Well, you can in InDesign. Before we begin, why don't I click and drag across the width of my page with my zoom tool? And now I'm going to go to my selection tool. Before we do anything, first, let's go to Object, Captions, Caption Setup. This is setting up the captions for our entire document. But why is it under the Object menu? It's under the Object menu because it's going to create a text frame with the caption in it. A text frame is an object, so it's under the Object menu. Why don't we get into this particular window for caption setup? It says text before, and then it says metadata and text after. What is this metadata about? Well, metadata is actually various kinds of information that are saved with the photo. It's actually part of the photo file. And to get to that information, why don't we switch to Bridge? One of the photos in my layout is this one. And you can see that there is some metadata that the photographer entered. He entered a description of this photo. It says John and his daughter Mary. What's really nice about this is the photographer, while he was taking the picture, he got the names of the people in the picture. And for anybody who's had to identify people in pictures in newsletters after the fact, you know how difficult that can be. Well, this solves the problem because the information is right here. The photographer entered it into the description. Let me go back to InDesign. Let me just find description in this long list of metadata. And there it is. If the photographer entered a description, I could, in the text before that description, say pictured left to right, and then for that particular picture, it would pick up John and his daughter Mary. And if I had text after, I would enter it in the next field. The next section of the caption setup is position and style. Do we want our caption aligned below each photo? Or do we want it above the photo, or to the left of the photo, or to the right of the photo? We're going to leave it below. And I'm going to offset it just a little bit further away from the bottom of the image by clicking the up arrow once to make it 1/16 of an inch. Now, what paragraph style do I want to use for my caption? Well, it just so happens that I set up a caption paragraph style, so why don't we just choose that? Is the caption going to be in the same layer as the image, or in the active layer, whatever I currently have selected in my layers panel, or in one of the 3 layers that is in this document? I'm going to leave it as same as image, and I'm also going to group the caption with the image. In case I have to move the picture afterwards, the caption will come along with it. Now I'm just going to click OK. But before we continue, let me just go back into that dialog window one more time. Captions, Caption Setup. What we're doing in this particular case is not using the description. I'm going to use the name of the actual file. So we're setting up a contact sheet for all of these pictures for our client to pick the images that he wants to use for a certain article. So I'm just going to click OK. And now I'm going to click and drag across all of my pictures at once. Let me fit the page in the window by going to View, Fit Page in Window. I'm now going to go under the Object menu again to Captions. And there's something called Generate Live Caption. There's also something called Generate Static Caption. A live caption will actually change if the information, the metadata about the file changes after it had been placed in InDesign. It updates. Generating a static caption, it will not change. We're going to do it as a live caption. And you can see it added the file names of each and every one of these pictures. I would export this as an Acrobat and send it to my client so he can pick out which photos he wants to use for the article. In the next lesson, we're going to continue discussing long document features.